Recently, I got to interview Vanessa who is an expert on social media. In fact, she makes multiple six figures a month teaching other people how to use social media for their business and for their personal brands. So in this clip, she goes over a bunch of tips and tricks that you can utilize for your social media to help generate more leads for your business.
So I was a coffee barista for a while, and then just chipping away at my YouTube channel, was kind of throwing spaghetti at the wall. And, this is just kind of for anyone who's not sure of what niche they want to get into. I didn't have a niche when I started. I just started creating a bunch of videos on various topics until one topic just kind of took off. And that's when I doubled down on that one topic. And then I grew from 0 to 100,000 subscribers in that year. Just by doubling down on what was working.
So like in that early on stage, you're not making any money, you're working minimum wage, graveyard.
Yeah.
And you sleep probably a little bit, and then you just start making random videos.
Yep.
Like what kind of videos were you making that didn't work?
Oh man. Well, actually, I did have a method to my madness. Like I wasn't just doing anything and everything. I kind of said, you know what, if I can't find my niche, maybe I can just at least think of the audience, like the person that I really want to attract. And I think that, what people have to realize is as a person, you have various interests. And so I was like, you know what, when I was stuck in the 9-to-5, I really couldn't find any content creators that was talking about this stuff for millennials specifically that were fresh out of college. Like, you work your tail off in college, you study so hard, you get your dream job, and then you realize it's not the right thing for you, or you just really start questioning yourself. Like you start going through kind of like a quarter life crisis. So I asked myself like, okay, what kind of content would these people want to see? So then I was like, okay, well maybe it would be career tips, or maybe it would be financing tips. Because a lot of these people, they're fresh out of school, they're living on their own for the first time. Maybe they want some budgeting tips. So I did some videos about that. Then I did some videos about social media. I did some videos about my story of like why I quit the 9-to-5. That video did really well. And so I just really experimented. I even did like productivity tips at one point, just because I just thought about that person and I listed down all their interests and what they would like. And then I just started creating videos from that. Now, the videos that didn't work out for me, well, it's not that it didn't work out. I feel like anything can work. At the same time, there were some videos that I just didn't enjoy doing as much.
Right.
So for instance, like the finance videos, I was like, well, I know a few things, but not that much. And, I can't see myself doing this for the rest of the longevity of my channel. So I kind of axed that really quickly. So I just through process of elimination, because I think that like looking back, I think what I did right was I spent those like 3 to 4 months, like those first 12 videos experimenting and just collecting data. And that kind of helped me find my niche eventually.
Yeah, it's funny because I think Gary Vee talked about it during the conference. He said, don't make content just because you see that niche is making money or you see somebody else is doing that. It's like, you're like, yeah, finance, obviously people love finance on YouTube because the CPM is so high. And they're like, oh yeah, finance is where it's at. But if you don't like it, it ain't going to work, right? Yep. Like if you talk about what you like doing, you will always be happy regardless of
and you'll always have ideas.
Yeah. It's funny because I'm in the finance niche and, I see all my other, buddies who are very big, much bigger than me. And, they all take in the same path to get big. Like they started in a niche, like even, Graham Stephan, him and I are business partners now. He started as a real estate guy. Meet Kevin, real estate guy. Andre was like a stock guy. And all three of them realized there's only one path to going really big, and it's talking about the news. And so now all of their content is pretty much the news. What's the market doing? What did Biden say? What is the Fed doing now? Like, and for me, I personally just don't have a desire to research that crap. I don't have time to talk about the news every day. Like, I would rather just be more niche and talk about like what I just do on a daily basis because it's easy. I'm just like, oh yeah, we bought this house, we started this, we did that, and like I'll just share my experiences. And is it going to get me millions of subscribers doing that? Probably not. The news is probably the best way to do it, but I just don't enjoy it.
Yeah, honestly, I just think that life becomes so much easier when you just double down on your strengths instead of trying to improve your weaknesses. Because I think someone told me this and it really helped me understand this concept is like, let's say you're like a D- at something, like that's your weakness, D-. As much as hard as you try to improve that, at most you'll probably get to like a B or a C+. But if you're already like an A at something and you really improve that, you could be like an A++++ really easily. And that's where the money's at, and that's where the opportunities are, and that's where happiness is too, when you really focus on your strengths.
Yeah, no, 100%. So, you did a bunch of great things. You tested stuff, and then you said one video popped off. What happened?
Oh my gosh, it was an Instagram video. And honestly, at the time when I was filming that video, I was like, this is so random. Like, usually I post a lot of videos about like mindset, career tips, some budgeting tips here and there. I'm like, this is the most random video that I'm gonna post. But I think that this person, millennials, the person I'm trying to attract, like, they're on social media, like, they're gonna want some tips. And I was like, you know what, let me just share a few. And it just like got a lot more views than any of my other videos within the first 24 hours. And I was like, okay, this is cool. All right. But then I didn't really catch on to it. So later on, my next 3 videos, I think, were still my regular videos. And I was like, looking at the views, I'm like, hey, like, these are doing average, but the other one's really, really taking off. So what do I do? Then I asked myself, like, okay, well, what if I just double down on more Instagram videos? And that's what I did. Those videos also did well. And so I think looking back at like my journey, now that I have that hindsight like ability, I think that it's the same concept of like let's say you walk down the street and someone gives you like the best sushi sample and you're like, oh my God, this was bomb. Let me go to the restaurant and check out for more sushi. You go to the restaurant, there's no other sushi there. There's like hamburgers, fries, steak, a burrito, a taco, and you're like, okay, well, I'm out. That's the same concept as a YouTube channel, right? Like someone got really hooked from this one video. They go to your channel. They don't see anything else related to the topic that hooked them in the first place. What are they going to do? They're going to bounce.
Yep.
And so that's exactly why, even though I had that like video really take off, for a whole like 3 weeks, it didn't really do anything for my channel. Like it didn't grow my subscriber rate because none of my other videos were related to that topic that really popped off until I started doing more Instagram videos. And then this is where my like career or like the business idea kind of came, because my email list went from like, I don't know, a few 50 people to 20,000 people, like literally within 2 weeks.
Wow.
With everyone wanting Instagram stuff. And I was like, holy crap, what do I do here? And then that's when I started like offering consulting services or like one-on-one coaching. And, I did that for 4 months. I was completely booked out. I think I made like, I don't know, within 3 months, I made 30 grand. I was making like 10K per month the moment that I released these one-on-one
You're like,
services.
I'm done being a barista.
Yeah, exactly. I quit my barista job. I was like, I don't need this anymore. I'm good. But then I entered another problem where I was just booked out.
Right.
And so I was like, okay, what do I do now? And so that's when I packaged everything into a course, something that would be less one-to-one, but more one-to-many. And then when I launched my program, I made 200K. And I was like, like, this is way more I made, way more than I made at my coffee barista job, but even way more than I made at my corporate job. I was making, what, 65K a year at my corporate job?
Yeah.
And I was like, holy crap. And then from there, after I launched my course and I, like, worked with a few people, like, I worked with maybe, like, 100 to 200 people for, like, 8 weeks, I then, again, took that data, took that feedback, and I was like, hey, what am I going to do with this program that I created? What worked, what didn't work, who did I like working with, all that. Because at the time, it was just a generic Instagram program.
Yep.
And like there was all these different people, like freelancers, graphic designers, e-commerce people, just a bunch of people, coaches. And I asked myself, like, okay, well, which clients got the best results from this program? Okay, well, I really liked working with the coaches specifically. They got the best results, and they were the clients that I liked working with the most. So then I niched down even more for my course. And I went from being a general Instagram course to then being like an Instagram course for coaches who want to sign clients.
Super niche.
Yeah, super, super niche. And then I put it on evergreen, meaning that instead of just launching the program live, I just basically created a sales funnel around it, automated the sales process, started looking into, creating webinars, all that stuff. And then I went from, like, I scaled it up to 200K a month.
Crazy.
So I went from a 200K launch just one time to then making 200K consistently once I scaled it up and built a team around it as well.
And that's with, like, really no paid traffic or anything. That's
No.
pretty, like, all organic.
No, it was all organic. And then I just chipped away at the YouTube channel and my Instagram as well.
Well, what's crazy is, you're doing this stuff for Instagram. Is the course still just Instagram?
No, we've added bonuses. So we have like a bonus bag where we have TikTok, YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook groups. So it's kind of like an a la carte thing.
Yeah.
But there's a reason why we like teaching Instagram, because I feel like with Instagram, it's an all-in-one platform. And it's not necessarily because I think that Instagram is the best platform. I think it's the easiest platform for someone to get a quick win on it.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, like, you know, let's say on a YouTube channel, great, I'm getting all these views. It's awesome. People are commenting, but I can't really DM them.
Right.
I can't really like build that relationship further. I still have to send them somewhere else. And so, and the same with TikTok. Like it's
DMs
getting
are
there.
trash.
Yeah, it's getting there, but it's not the same. Whereas on Instagram, I could like
People just
DM
love
them.
chatting.
Yeah, I've even like sold clients through Instagram by hopping on a call with them. Like you could do a FaceTime call with someone.
I've done that.
Exactly. And so you could literally attract people with reels, nurture them, you know, with your carousel post or whatever else, DM them, send them whatever. And so Instagram, that's why we focus on it, because it's just the easiest platform for someone to get started with.
Yeah. You know what's interesting is I've had this conversation with other YouTubers. I think I was with Graham and Financial Jeremy. They've all been on this podcast, by the way, so we'll link to their episodes down below. But, you know, we asked the question of what's more valuable, like 1 million YouTube or 1 million Instagram? And it was an interesting debate because we all knew like 1 million TikToks not as valuable as those two. And so it was like, okay, which one would you rather have? And like, so Graham and Jeremy being YouTube heavy are like, well, it's YouTube, obviously. And I was like, I don't know, because I have you know, right around 220,000 Instagram, 220,000 YouTube. Like, I see both sides pretty equally. And as a businessman, if that's what we're talking, I think I sell more on Instagram because of the DM function.
Right.
You know, like being able to communicate with people and talk to them and like get them in your ecosystem is way better versus YouTube. You know, I make a video and I hope they call me.
Yeah.
But you don't really have any communication on YouTube.
Yeah, I think you get more visibility with your followers on Instagram, but I think YouTube is better just to like get evergreen like traffic, like, and
Make
that
them-
traffic
yeah.
doesn't even need to follow you. So I don't know. That's a really good debate. I don't know. I think I would rather
What would you pick?
for sales. I think I might pick Instagram. Because at the same time, like with YouTube, great, you could have a lot of subscribers. That's awesome. But you could also have not that many subscribers, but a lot of views on certain videos. And as long as that video is linked to your product and service, like you could still make a lot of good money on that video.
What I think is YouTube helps you build like an actual brand where like people know you. People are like, I know Vanessa. Like I've seen her YouTube videos. Like I know Ryan because I've seen his YouTube. But like if you're only Instagram, to me, I don't think you get as many like people who recognize you or something.
Yes,
right?
I do agree with that. I think that I would rather be a really popular YouTuber.
Yeah.
But in terms of like a sales standpoint, like I would rather have those eyeballs on Instagram so I can nurture them and like DM them and all that. But, you know, I really do think that you accelerate your authority in whatever niche that you're in or with whatever industry you're in the moment that you do video.
Right.
Like you will like someone, even if you're not an authority, like you'll be perceived more as an authority the moment that you get on video.
Yeah.
And I think YouTube is like the best video platform out there.
100%. Thanks for watching that clip from the Ryan Pineda Show. If you want to see the full interview, you can actually find it in the link below. Make sure you also subscribed on both YouTube and Apple Podcast.